Hello everyone, welcome back to Today News K-Wave channel. The K-pop universe is once again buzzing with speculation, whispers, and a touch of chaos. Jennie and Taehyung, two of the most talked about idols in the industry, have once again been spotted together. Cameras caught them in a moment that seemed casual, maybe even innocent, but fans know that in the world of celebrity, nothing is ever that simple. The internet is divided, timelines are flooded, and fan theories are spinning out of control. But while everyone's eyes are on Jennie and Tae, there's another story quietly unfolding behind the scenes, one that Jikook fans can't stop talking about. Because as the headlines scream about Tae, something subtle, mysterious, and undeniably emotional seems to be happening between Jimin and Jungkook once again. It started, as always, with a photo blurry, low quality, yet powerful enough to ignite an entire fandom war. A picture of Jennie and Tae in the same frame, surrounded by staff members, seemingly during a casual outing. Some fans called it proof of a continued connection. Others dismissed it as pure coincidence. But if there's one thing we've learned over the years, it's that coincidences in K-pop are rarely just that. Every public appearance, every leaked picture, every shared location, it all fuels the narrative, whether intentional or not. And yet, for Jikook fans, something about this timing felt almost scripted. Because just days before the new Jennie and Tae sighting, both Jimin and Jungkook began making subtle, yet emotional reappearances online. Jungkook posted a live session that seemed unusually raw, a quiet night, soft lighting, a calm tone. He smiled at the camera, but behind that smile, fans could feel something deeper. Meanwhile, Jimin uploaded photos that carried that unmistakable Jikook energy, nostalgia, warmth, and the kind of emotion that can't be faked. The fandom quickly connected the dots. Was it just coincidence that Tae and Jennie resurfaced publicly right when Jimin and Jungkook began showing signs of reconnecting? Or was this a carefully timed distraction, a hidden plot designed to shift the narrative away from something real? The question spread like wildfire across social media, drawing in both skeptics and believers. For years, the relationship between Jimin and Jungkook, known lovingly as Jikook, has been one of the most emotionally charged dynamics in BTS's story. From the smallest gestures on stage to moments caught off camera, fans have built a timeline filled with evidence, emotions, and unspoken truths. They've seen the longing glances, the private smiles, the shared touches that say more than words ever could. And even as BTS members embarked on their solo journeys, that invisible thread between Jimin and Jungkook never seemed to disappear. But in 2024 and early 2025, things felt different. Jungkook went quiet. Jimin stayed low-key, focusing on his projects. The silence left a void, and fans began wondering if Jikook was over, if maybe they had grown apart. And then, out of nowhere, Jennie and Tae were seen again. It's almost poetic, as if every time Jikook pulls away from the spotlight, another distraction couple appears, commanding attention and redirecting the narrative. Could it really be just coincidence? Or could it be a reflection of how K-pop's biggest names navigate the delicate balance between truth and performance, between what's real and what's meant to be seen? When fans looked closer, the pieces became even more intriguing. The outfits, the timing, the background, every detail from Jennie and Tae's encounter was analyzed frame by frame. Some claimed it was a PR moment, a subtle reminder of their past connection to keep the public intrigued. Others argued it was nothing more than overlapping schedules. But amid that noise, Jikook fans noticed something else. Both Jimin and Jungkook began posting late-night messages again. Simple ones, maybe just a selfie or a music recommendation, but the tone, the energy, the atmosphere felt oddly synchronized. It reminded everyone of those classic Jikook moments from years ago, the ones that made fans believe in something deeper than friendship. Those nights when Jungkook would quietly appear on live after Jimin posted something heartfelt, as if replying without words. Those times when their playlists seemed to mirror each other's emotions. And now, in 2025, that pattern was back. Could this be their silent way of saying, "We're still here"? Fans couldn't ignore it. The online spaces dedicated to Jikook began lighting up again, filled with side-by-side screenshots, mirrored posts, and emotional analysis. Some argued it was fate. Others said it was intentional that Jimin and Jungkook know exactly what they're doing, quietly reminding the world that their bond still exists. And maybe, just maybe, the sudden reappearance of Jennie and Tae was designed to contrast that, to remind everyone how media attention works in K-pop's complex world of fame, privacy, and image control. The fascinating thing about the Jikook dynamic is that it never relies on big gestures. Their connection lives in the in-between moments, the glance when the cameras aren't supposed to catch it, the quiet laughter during rehearsals, the way their words echo each other even when spoken miles apart. Something that feels real, unpolished, and deeply human. That's why every small hint, every shared timing, every matching emotion resonates so deeply with fans. And yet, when Jennie and Tae are mentioned, it always feels like the conversation shifts toward performance, the curated, the controlled, the glamorous. Both of them are extraordinary artists, and their public personas have been shaped by global fame and endless scrutiny. But the timing of their appearances, especially when paired with emotional movements from Jikook, always seems too perfect to ignore. Maybe it's the industry's way of maintaining balance. When one story grows too real, another one rises to keep the spotlight divided. Or maybe it's simply human coincidence, the kind that keeps fans guessing, hoping, analyzing, and dreaming. Still, one thing remains undeniable. Every time Jikook seems to fade, something pulls them back into focus. Their connection feels magnetic, inevitable, and it's that emotional gravity that keeps fans believing. Because while headlines might scream about Jennie and Tae being spotted again, it's the quiet rhythm between Jimin and Jungkook that keeps the fandom's heart beating. Recent moments have only fueled this energy further. When Jimin appeared on a behind-the-scenes clip, softly humming a tune that Jungkook had covered months earlier, fans couldn't ignore the coincidence. And when Jungkook referenced a lyric from one of Jimin's solo songs during his live, the pattern became too strong to overlook. These weren't random, they were echoes, like two hearts speaking in code across the noise of fame. Meanwhile, the media tried to push the Jennie and Tae narrative forward. Headlines with words like reunion, spark, and undeniable chemistry dominated K-pop discussion boards. Yet, underneath that chaos, fans quietly whispered, "But what about Jikook?" Because even if the spotlight moves elsewhere, true emotion has its own way of shining through. As weeks passed, the energy around both pairs evolved. Jennie and Tae's sightings started fading from the headlines, replaced by new gossip. But Jikook's subtle reappearances, the carefully timed social posts, the emotional lives, the tiny yet powerful gestures only grew stronger. It's as if the universe, or perhaps fate itself, keeps aligning them in ways no one can fully explain. And maybe that's the beauty of it. In an industry where everything is choreographed, where every word and photo is approved by layers of management, Jikook remains the unpredictable heartbeat, the one connection that feels too natural, too deep, too real to be just fan imagination. So when you ask, coincidence or hidden plot? Maybe the answer isn't one or the other. Maybe it's both. Maybe there's a rhythm, a pattern that exists between all these stories, one that only true fans can recognize. Because in the grand stage of K-pop, everything that seems random often has meaning, and everything that looks like a distraction might just be part of a larger, unseen design. As the cameras flash and the theories continue, Jimin and Jungkook stay quiet. They don't need to speak. Their story has always been written between the lines, in the way they look at each other, in the warmth of their laughter, in the small acts of care that fans have learned to recognize. And maybe that's what makes their connection so powerful. Because while others chase headlines, Jikook remains timeless, a love story whispered, not shouted. So yes, Jennie and Tae may be spotted again, but every Jikook fan knows. Some bonds don't need cameras to prove they exist. They live quietly, constantly, beautifully hidden behind every smile, every song, every silence. And as long as that connection continues to pulse through their hearts and their art, no distraction, no rumor, and no coincidence can ever erase it. Because maybe the real hidden plot isn't about Jennie and Tae at all, maybe it's about Jikook, and the way their story continues to defy distance, silence, and time itself. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you felt the emotion, if you believe in the quiet power of connection, or if you've ever looked at Jimin and Jungkook and thought, there's something deeper there, then don't forget to like this video, share it with other Jikook believers, and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the stories that the world tries to overlook. Because here on this channel, we don't just chase rumors, we uncover the feelings behind them. Until next time, keep believing.